Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and we're here on a brand new game for the channel. We're here on Automobilista 2, and I know it's kind of weird because I tend to actually make sort of discussion videos firstly on a new game and then make more videos on it, but this time around I just couldn't miss out on this update. Automobilista 2 is pretty much the latest Automobilista title from Rise Studios, and they've got a brand new update. You know, they updated pretty much with GT4 cars, GT3 cars, and now we're literally have a brand new category on this game, and I just couldn't really, you know, get away with this. Like, I needed to make a video on it, and probably a discussion video will come later that year after I make a few videos on this game. But as I've already told you, we had GT4, GT3, and now we have a brand new category which is called GT1. And for anyone who's familiar with Le Mans, you might already know this category. We've got pretty much the Porsche 911, GT1 98. These used to be the sort of LMP1s back in the day of the Le Mans day and the endurance racing. These cars are absolutely insane. In my opinion, they are pretty much the new category, the LMDH, will remind us of these cars, with more manufacturers coming in and more of a like car-shaped sort of cars in this category. I don't really know how to explain it. We've also got the Mercedes-Benz CLK LM, which was notorious for flying in the Le Mans. Okay, I'm not doing this again. I'm very sorry. I promise I won't do this again. Well, pretty much we have the Mercedes CL, and then we got the McLaren F1 GTR. So 3 cars only in this category. I know there were more back in the day, but honestly, it's just an amazing category to have on a game, and I feel like we don't really have it on any other game. We don't have it on F Factor 2, we don't have it on, I think the only game that we could have it is Assetto Corsa, but I'm not really sure. That's why I'm not really, like, confirming it. But what I'm going to be doing is a 5-lap race driving the Porsche 911 around the Nürburgring. A pretty short race just to get a feeling of these cars and just to race a little bit with the AI of Automobilista 2. So, very excited for this race. Let's get into it and take a trip back to the past. So we're here on the Porsche 911. As you can see, beautiful graphics as always from Automobilista 2. One of these it's great like moments of Automobilista 2, the great graphics and all that, and it's also the AI, which is fairly good on AMS2. It's something that I really like on this game. But yeah, I just love these cars. The whole feeling of driving up against these cars is just absolutely insane. I never thought I would drive these cars on the simulator, and I'm absolutely gassed to drive these cars. Obviously, I really want to try out the other cars as well, but there's a few issues with this update with these cars. As I've already like talked with a few other sim racers, and they've confirmed me that there's a few issues with these cars. They're pretty much very rough, which means you can actually lose the back end very easily. Now the Porsche is actually the easier car to drive, and I actually tried to drive the Mercedes around the 2001 layout of Silverstone. I was going to do that on a separate video, and I was trying to record that, but I just couldn't drive the Mercedes. It was literally impossible with either 100% traction control. It was almost impossible to drive the Mercedes. So that's the only like viable option that you've got. It's pretty much the Nürburgring and the Porsche. The Porsche is the most like, is the slowest of these cars. We go side by side with the McLaren there, but gonna take the bad line and there's a bit of ground there. But the Porsche is the slowest car of this GT1 category, and that's probably the reason that it's the easiest car to drive. But all in all, it's still a very enjoyable car. You can still actually lose out on the back end. Don't get me wrong, it's not going to be the easiest car to drive. But of course, the faster the cars are, the harder they are to drive. That's pretty much common sense. But in general, I feel like an update will be coming out for these cars, because it's a bit of it's sad to not be able to drive these cars on the limit. Whereas you can drive the GT3 cars on the limit. As we go for a move down the McLaren, and probably a double move if we go side by side there with a fellow Porsche there. Absolutely insane side by side racing there. We probably got a better straight line speed there, but for the time being, this Porsche actually drives fairly well. I love the force feedback that AMS2 has. In my opinion, one of the best force feedbacks that any other sim racing game has. Probably F Factor 2 is up to par with it. It's very close between the two of them, and ACC is improving ever so slightly as the time goes on. Of course, AMS2 is not the best sim out there. As we slow, look at that slide a little bit there. Of course, it's not the best sim you can get out there, but it's a very decent sim for the price of it, and it's actually got some awesome content in it, like GT1 cars. Where else can you drive those cars? Well, absolutely insane. Having a lot of fun at the moment, driving on my Fanatic wheel, and it feels very good. This force feedback is very, very strong and on point. It makes you understand everything about the car. The curbs feel a bit weird on AMS2, just like they feel on ACC, if I'm being honest. Like, not as bad as, no, it's actually worse than ACC. Factor 2, in my opinion, has the best curbs, which you might say they're a little bit weak and all that, but in my opinion, they are the best. And then I would say ACC, and then AMS2. But a lot of people say this game feels like PC2, which I haven't really played. It feels like a continuation of Project Cars. It might be, but in my opinion, if you really want to put into the Project Cars thing, universe, it's the best Project Cars game that you can have. But in my opinion, they are a little bit like, they look alike, they feel a little bit the same, but it's AMS2, it's on a different level. They might use the same engine, but it's a vastly better and improved game than the Project Cars 2. But we've probably overtaken a few cars there at the start, and we're now trying to catch up to the leading pack as we're in position number 6, a 21 car grid. The most you can do is 29 car grids on this game, in comparison to RF2 where we can have like 50 car grids or something like that. But this car feels fairly consistent in comparison to the Mercedes and the McLaren. That's why it's the one that picked up the spot for this video. It's still a very, very on the limit car. Like, you have to be careful with it, but all in all, it's a very, very enjoyable car. Look at me just correcting that wheel. In my opinion, this shouldn't really happen. It happens way too often, and a future update will probably fix these things. But because I know that AMS2 constantly improves, like, it's a game that the devs are really dedicating themselves into. A lot of updates come in like every single month or every other week, in my opinion. Like, updates come very, very often in this game, and they improve the game massively, update after update, and it's very nice to see that. That's why I support AMS2. You've got devs behind it that really are putting love and effort into this game, and that's what I want to see from a developer. I want to see the effort. I want to see like a constant like communication with the players in order to improve this game and make it the best sim out there in the market. Of course, I don't know if it's ever going to reach these heights, but you just gotta support them. When they show that much love and dedication to a project, you've got to support them, in my opinion. And I've bought the premium track pack. Of course, this track is a DLC one. It comes with a premium track pack, which gives you Silverstone, Nürburgring, and a few other circuits like Spa-Francorchamps, as we run a little bit wide through there. That's a bit of a mistake. But yeah, in my opinion, the premium track pack is literally worth it, and you might actually have to pay a lot for the DLC, but we're getting a lot of good free content as well. GT3 cars are free, GT4 cars are free, GT1 cars are free. You've got a lot of good content for free, trust me, with this game. But if you want to really drive around some historical and legendary circuits, then you're gonna pay for the premium track pack, which is 100% worth it. You've got different layouts from the past, from the present, from the very, very long past, from 1950s and all that. So absolutely worth it, as we've caught up to the back of this McLaren F1 GTR, which is right behind the Mercedes CLMK. It's very, very cool there, losing the back end with only a lap to go. So let's listen a little bit to the engine as we try and overtake this McLaren now. Very close to the McLaren. This engine sounds very good. Obviously sounds are not as good as ACC, but visually could be up to par with ACC, in my opinion. We're getting very close to this McLaren. We've got the better top speed, and we might as well dive up the inside there into the final chicane side by side with the McLaren. That's a nice little move there. been completed, as we're up into position number 5 now, and we've got the top 4 right ahead of us. Not a Porsche there in the top 4, not surprising at all, being the slowest car, as I've already mentioned in the beginning of the video. But now with 1 lap remaining, final lap as you can see right there, do we have a chance of emerging into the podium positions? I have no idea. In my opinion, we have a chance, because this AI is not very fast. I actually have it on 100% if I'm not mistaken, or 97%, something like that. I'm not very good at this game, obviously. I'm very new, and also these cars are almost undrivable. They're very hard to drive, but they're still very enjoyable. I'm telling you, this combination of the Porsche and the Nürburgring is a good one, and you can actually have fun with these cars even before an update arrives. So don't be scared about these cars being very hard or anything. Try this combination out and you'll have a lot of fun. Final lap, and yeah, let's just try and catch up to the Mercedes. Cars obviously do not have the aerodynamics and the top speed of the modern LMP cars, but the whole aesthetic side of them is just insane. As we might not be able to make a move on the Mercedes. They managed to have a very good final lap, but we might have a chance if something happens into the final corner. We're getting very close in the final chicane. I might need to get a good exit in order to be in for a move there on the Mercedes. Slight loss of the back end. I see a little bit of a rumble up there with the 2 McLarens. The Mercedes there, they lose quite a bit of time. We go around the outside of the Mercedes. Any chance into the final corner? Not a very good chance. Into the start finish straight, into the section of the McLaren. Any chance into the start finish line there? And just about on the start finish line there. We couldn't actually complete a move, but had we had another 1 lap, we probably could have been even in P2, but that's just about it. What an awesome race there. Great racing on AMS too. The AI might be a little bit clunky with its movements and all that. It reminds me a little bit of Project Cars AI, but it really rewards you with some great racing. All in all, what a great finish there. And that's only a 5-lap race. Imagine like a huge race, like a 100-lap race or an endurance race on AMS2. I can't really imagine that because I've never done that before. I only do it on Factor 2, obviously. And just to mention it, 16th of December, another live stream on my 2nd ever league race, endurance league race on Factor 2. But either way, back to these cars. I've already told you an update will be coming soon for these cars to fix a little bit the driving of them. I don't know how soon or when this is going to happen, but it's going to happen eventually, very soon. But in my opinion, if you give this combination a shot, the Nürburgring with the Porsche or whatever truck you really want to do, I feel like the Porsche is the only drivable car from this category. So try it out. I feel like the Porsche is a very good starting point in this GT1 category, and I'm just very happy just to see these cars. I know, you know, when the driving is not that good, you might be a little bit disappointed, but this is the fixable side of the repairable side of things. Like the fact that we have these cars in the game is the most important part, because I know the Razor devs will fix that like 100%. They're just very good devs and they'll listen to the community and they'll do that. And yeah, I'm just happy to see these cars. Like these cars, when I watched them as a kid, I was flipping impressed. I was like mad in love with these cars. Like these were the hypercars of my era. Even though they were not road legal, these were like the cars that we were like, check this out, mate. These were the cars that made us fall in love with endurance racing, because they're more like of my era, to sort of say. But either way, that was it for today, guys. If you enjoyed, smash the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and when you subscribe, ring that bell to get notifications for any new videos on this channel. Follow me on Twitter, join my Discord server if you have any ideas. You just want to, you know, tell me like do this or do that, TM, and I'll consider it and probably make it into a video. We're a nice little community here, listening to you, to your comments. So make sure you comment whatever you want, make sure you join Discord server, just do whatever the F you want, and I'll just pay attention to your comments, guys. So yeah, until next video, I'll catch you later. Goodbye.